Samuel Johnson. That domestic greatness is unattainable. It has been commonly remarked that eminent men are least eminent at home, that bright characters lose much of their splendor at a nearer view, and many who fill the world with their fame excite very little reverence among those that surround them in their domestic privacies. To blame or to suspect is easy and natural. When the fact is evident, and the cause doubtful, some accusation is always engendered between idleness and malignity. This disparity of general and familiar esteem is therefore imputed to hidden vices, and to practices indulged in secret, but carefully covered from the public eye. Vice will indeed always produce contempt. The dignity of Alexander, though nations fell prostrate before him, was certainly held in little veneration by the partakers of his midnight revels, who had seen him in the madness of wine murder his friend, or set fire to the Persian palace at the instigation of a harlot. And it is well remembered among us that the avarice of Marlborough kept him in subjection to his wife, while he was dreaded by France as a conqueror, and honoured by the emperor as his deliverer. But though, where there is vice, there must be want of reverence, it is not reciprocally true that when there is want of reverence, there is always vice. That awe which great actions or abilities impress will be inevitably diminished by acquaintance, though nothing either mean or criminal should be found. Of men, as of everything else, we must judge according to our knowledge. When we see of a hero only his battles, or of a writer only his books, we have nothing to allay our ideas of their greatness. We consider the one only as the guardian of his country, and the other only as the instructor of mankind. We have neither opportunity nor motive to examine the minuter parts of their lives, or the less apparent peculiarities of their characters. We name them with habitual respect, and forget what we still continue to know, that they are men like other mortals. But such is the constitution of the world, that much of life must be spent in the same manner by the wise and the ignorant, the exalted and the low. Men, however distinguished by external accidents or intrinsic qualities, have all the same wants, the same pains, and, as far as the senses are consulted, the same pleasures. The petty cares and petty duties are the same in every station, to every understanding, and every hour brings some occasion on which we all sink to the common level. We are all naked till we are dressed, and hungry till we are fed, and the general's triumph and sage's disputation end, like the humble labours of the smith or ploughman, in a dinner or in sleep. Those notions which are to be collected by reason, in opposition to the senses, will seldom stand forward in the mind, but lie treasured in the remoter repositories of memory, to be found only when they are sought. Whatever any man may have written or done, his precepts or his valour will scarcely overbalance the unimportant uniformity which runs through his time. We do not easily consider him as great, whom our own eyes show us to be little, nor labour to keep present to our thoughts the latent excellences of him who shares with us all our weaknesses and many of our follies. Who, like us, is delighted with slight amusements, busied with trifling employments, and disturbed by little vexations. Great powers cannot be exerted but when great exigencies make them necessary. Great exigencies can happen but seldom, and therefore those qualities which have a claim to the veneration of mankind lie hid, for the most part, like subterranean treasures, over which the foot passes as on common ground, till necessity breaks open the golden cavern. In the ancient celebrations of victory, a slave was placed on the triumphal car by the side of the general, who reminded him by a short sentence that he was a man. whatever danger there might be lest a leader, in his passage to the capital, should forget the frailties of his nature. There was surely no need of such an admonition. The intoxication could not have continued long. He would have been at home but a few hours before some of his dependents would have forgot his greatness and shown him that, notwithstanding his laurels, he was yet a man. There are some who try to escape this domestic degradation by laboring to appear always wise or always great. But he that strives against nature will forever strive in vain. To be grave of mien and slow of utterance, to look with solicitude and speak with hesitation, is attainable at will. But the show of wisdom is ridiculous when there is nothing to cause doubt, as that of valor where there is nothing to be feared. A man who has duly considered the condition of his being will contentedly yield to the course of things. He will not pant for distinction where distinction would imply no merit. But though on great occasions he may wish to be greater than others, he will be satisfied in common occurrences not to be less.